I think I will tell of the our last battle against the Saxons and how mighty he stood and how he has been by my side and the most noble and loyal friend throughout my
What?
years.
All right. I love that you haven't made the rolls yet, Inosh. Before you do, this is what happens. You hear a clinking noise as someone in full armor is in the hall, which is super unusual, right?
Hmm.
And then there's a gauntleted hand that grabs Sir Robert from behind. So like, there's like a left hand on your right shoulder, and the camera pans around, and it's a man with a helm off, with black hair and black eyes, standing in pure black armor. He says, "Ha ha ha ha! You speak of the triumphs of Sir Robert. He was but a boy when last I saw him. Can he truly be a man?" And then he gestures with his right hand out to the dance floor where Trumpert's like, "I must be a little tipsy," and like falling over. "These are his comrades, lady. Look at them. A disgrace to the Knights of the Realm."
Oh,
So
so
Robert turns around. It's just okay. You want to go for it? Say something, Aurelius.
Aurelius is highly insulted as well there.
I kind of want to duel this guy, like challenge him to a full duel.
And who might you be to speak so
He says, "Do you not recognize
hoarsely?
me, Aurelius? It is I, Sir Blaines, the steward of Levcamagus, the Black Knight."
Tis a shame that your honor and courtesy are not equal to your might in battle.
Oh yeah, Sir Robert, you recognize. I'm pretty sure this is the guy that killed Sir Imec. Remember that battle?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
guy who
yeah.
was your trainer literally died in front of your eyes to this guy.
Ah, Sublines. Oh, you would know, Sublines. You should speak of conquest. How is Lady Elaine, your wife? Oh, sorry, I meant that's Countess Elaine. Is she not? Huh?
He says, so like his grip on your shoulder gets a little bit tighter, and he's like, "I assume you have made a mistake, sir. Countess Elaine is Earl Roderick's wife, as I'm sure you know."
Oh, yes, we all do. I heard the stories of how Earl Roderick won her from. I don't recall who the man's name was. Everyone always forgets who that fellow was.
He's just not such an important man.
Probably not. I can't recall. My memory is not what it used to be.
I don't believe it matters.
You see, I was just a boy when that happened.
Everybody here is
That
so
fellow must be
petty.
an old man by now, though. But I mean,
Do
why
you
would
wander up, Sir Sasha, and like roll your eyes? Like, everyone here is so petty.
I imagine I don't wander up, but I'm in hearing distance of the conversation.
I also
Then I
seem
would-
to remember
yeah.
my brother telling tales of these men defeating your men in battle.
that was not a
So
battle?
he's actually been getting kind of angry, but when you say that, he waves his hand. He's like, "The border between Silchester and Salisbury changes constantly. One battle won is another battle lost. I'd
Yes.
say Silchester has been doing quite well for itself in recent years. Even with the Saxon raids we've been suffering, we don't have to sit behind the rest of the country hiding in the center like Salisbury does."
Well,
At this point, I think the noble lady that all of you have suddenly stopped like paying attention to, like slaps him in the face and then slaps Sir Robert in the face and is like, "The two of you ought to know better. Offering offense in the king's house? This is a capital crime. I'll pretend I didn't hear any of this."
Robert smiles. He's like, ah, you're
And
gonna
then she,
slap me
like,
on one
kicks
cheek,
Sir
should slap me
Blaine's-
on the other.
Yeah, she kicks Sir Blaine's and is like, "Take your damn armor off. The gods betray you, sir."
Robert's gonna be like, oh, I love a woman with fire.
Okay, yeah, she still walks off.
Yeah, that's okay. Robert
Never
doesn't
did
care.
catch her name. Maybe you'd like to roll recognize.
Let's see. Who is that one? Uh-huh.
Nope, no idea.
Well, fortunately, Sir Robert knows who this is. 5. You recognize her as the Lady Eloise. She's 20-something, and she has appearance 16. She was regarded as being quite beautiful and fair. She had mysteriously appeared out of nowhere a few years ago and doesn't seem to have any traceable noble family. But she does have a manor in Salisbury, near the town of Amesbury. Due to her mystery, she's regarded as quite a catch. She has, however, spent almost all of her time in Uther's court rather than back home in Salisbury.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So Robert tells. So then, yeah, he looks at her, just watching her walk away, and he tells her about him. Tells him about her. Sorry.
Okay.
Quite a mystery at the moment.
Seems to be a quite honorable lady.
I feel like
I
that
would
sort of
not
thing.
mind knowing her more.
I just like that she speaks her mind.
I thought you weren't
Brother-
in this conversation. I thought you were sitting somewhere else and just commenting
At
upon it.
that.
He's here now.
Now
Don't
you wander up. Of course.
Yeah, all the excitement. Of course, he shows up.
I like the idea of like the two of them talking to each other and you like show up between them with your hands on their shoulders. I like that she speaks her mind. Yeah, 80s
Rather than-
sitcom.
Rather than dodging around the subject, they're just throwing backhanded comments at each other, you know?
So I think as he's leaving the hall to take off his armor, he turns around to Sir Trumpert, and Sir Blaines gives a salute.
To
'Cause
who?
he doesn't actually know you, right? He knew
Yeah.
Sermond and was like, "Aha! I believe Sermond is a great knight, and I would love to face him." But Trumpert is essentially unknown to him,
Mhm.
so he gives you like a mocking gesture.
I guess I'll mocking gesture him back too.
Oh, okay, all right. I see. We have the start of a new feud.
John Fiort makes feuds with everyone here.
Fascinating, fascinating. I feel like at some point during all of this, I probably should have called for a stat roll from somebody, but it was just moving so well. No one has I don't know, reckless 16 plus or anything, right? I don't think so.
No.
Not yet. Yeah, we were good with that. Okay, so that conversation with Sir Blaines and Lady Adwins and Eloise has wrapped itself up rather poorly for you. Not to editorialize, but you did get slapped in the face.
Robert likes it.
Robert did.
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
What
He
would
likes
the
the
rest of you
fiery
like to
women who are passionate enough and they can slap him in the face.
Yeah, we
Just
learned that
enjoy
from
the
his
feast.
wife.
Mention what I heard earlier about more talk about how he went after the woman and whatnot.
Oh,
Terrible thing that he would succumb to that desire.
it's a shame.
Have
That
you seen her?
I like that that's an Asha's thing because he's actually in love with her.
Yeah.
I have, but of course I'm a taken man, so
So I think at some
shit,
point
that
during
big.
the night,
Oh.
if there's nothing much going on here, Prince Maddock sends over a squire, one of his half dozen, and the boy is like, "Sir Robert, His Highness requests your presence."
Robert's are he's quite surprised actually that okay. He's like very well. He's probably half drunk by now, so it's he's just like, what the fuck? Then yeah. He asks
So-
his guys, "You guys want to come?" Might be meeting the king.
he called for your presence, not for ours.
All right.
Or is it ours, as a group?
It's Sir
Yeah,
Robert, but the rest of you could attend, you know,
yeah.
if you
I'm doing.
wished.
I
What was it
will
again?
accompany you.
So when you approach, Uther is in conversation with Maddock, and Maddock like holds a hand up when you approach Robert, and you hear Uther going, "I have been deeply insulted, and for no good reason. The Duke of Cornwall has broken his word and violated our hospitality. His sudden flight from our court proves his guilt. No other information need be sought. Worse, though, his people have slewn some of my servants in their escape, and they have stolen treasure from my armories when they fled. Gorlo is guilty." And Maddock is like, "Father, you're drinking too heavily. Head back to your rooms. We'll speak on this later." And there's like a goblet made of clay, and like Uther just shatters it with his hand, and there's blood coming all out of his hand from all the sharp fragments, and just like wipes it off on the front of Maddox's tunic and storms away. And then Maddox like gestures you over, and his pristine, never been worn before silk tunic is now covered in his father's blood. And Maddox is like, "Sir Robert, I'm glad to see you back.
My
Will you
prince.
ride with me into battle once again?"
My prince, it would be my honor to ride into battle with you.
Excellent. I feared that you had been spending too much time with my father. He might have seduced you away from me. No, he heads to Tintagel to besiege the Duke. I will be taking the other 2/3 of the army to Terabel. I wish you and your knights at my side.
Very well, my lord.
Excellent, my friend. I've heard that you did well capturing a banner of some sort from King Octa.
Ah, yes, my lord. My prince.
A true and
It
noble
was the heat of the
challenge.
battle. We saw the opportunity and went for it. My fellow knights also fought very bravely. Without their contribution, it would not have been possible.
So I think Duke Brastius, who is the king's bodyguard, kind of like has his hands folded in front of him, and like his right hand's like resting on his sword pommel, and he kind of like tightens it and says, "I have heard that there is one among you who slew many warriors. They say that Trumpert is known among the Saxons as the Knight of Smoke and Fire. Is he truly one of your gang?" I'm sorry, he would say gang. Is he truly one of your band?
Yeah. Said, "Ah, Sir Trumpet, yes. I know not what the Saxons say, but he is a fine warrior. One of the best swordsmen I've seen. Such a young man."
Duke Brastius says, "I make it my business to know what it is the Saxons are saying, indeed. King's bodyguard can never be too careful, of course. I look forward to meeting this Sir Trumpert. Perhaps when this war is done and we can get back to the Saxon lines, you will introduce me to him."
Sir Robert nods like, "Certainly. Although I thought you might rather introduce you to some of the finer women in court, but
He says,
Robert gives like Maddock a little, you know what I'm talking about.
so Duke Brastius is like, "I am seeking replacements for the king's bodyguard, and Sir Trumpert seems to like he would be a worthy warrior to have among our number."
Robert says, perhaps. But Trumpet is more keen to kill than to defend."
I can kill in
No.
defense.
So
I do
Duke
not know
Brastius
that-
seems troubled when you say that, and he says,
Yeah,
"I wish
that's
to meet him anyway."
Certainly.
And Maddock is like, "Enough of this talk of killing. We are going to war. The damned Cornwalls will get what is deserved. Bring your troops to Sarum, Sir Robert. I'm afraid
Very well.
I must get back to business."
It will be my honor, my prince. So he clasps him on the shoulder and he just like, and he raises his, I think Robert's probably got a cup in his hand, so he raises, "To battle at Tintagel." Tintagel, right? That's the one
No,
where...
it's Terabel. Tintagel is
Terrible,
where
sorry.
Uther's
The
going.
king? Okay, yeah, sorry. Terrible.
Yes, so he like raises his glass and claps you on your other shoulder and says, "To Tarobel, we will take the Duke down." And yeah, so that ends that discussion. Prince Maddock like withdraws after, a couple minutes of speaking with others, but it seemed like you were his last major conversation.
Okay.
There are a number of other, important folks standing around, including Duke Brastius, Earl Roderick, and Duke Ulfius. And Uther has returned to take his son's place at the head of the feast.
Robert will have a quick conversation with his betrothed, actually.
With who?
The woman that I keep forgetting her name. I keep saying Elaine, but it's not Elaine. Who's the one that Earl Roderick had given him permission to court?
I don't know.
The one that everyone is talking to right now.
Oh,
the
Lady
one
Adwin?
Adwin, yeah. Sorry.
Adwin, yeah. Yeah, it's weird that, Lady Adwin had been promised to somebody, and now yeah, just saying. So
Maybe
you
a lot-
go to speak with Lady Adwin, and she just rolls her eyes and says, "It's you."
God, does she just try to be unlikable?
So Robert says, Lady Adwin, don't worry, I'm not here to boast. Although, if I did start, it would take up quite the evening. Most of the evening.
I think she scoffs, and like one of her handmaidens just breaks out laughing.
And
Start, Robert, great start.
but I fear you've been bored too much by men, boasting of their accomplishments with their sword and their loyalty to their lord. I think you are a wise woman who would already know much about these things. I've actually come to ask you, what are matters of interest to you?
So she kind of looks surprised, and she says, "You want to know more about me?"
Yes. It
Well,
would seem foolish that a man would come to speak to a woman but would only speak about himself. I could speak about myself in my own chamber.
I
And you
think
probably
she
did.
actually laughs at that and says, "Perhaps you should speak with Sir Trumpet on the matter then."
I never actually thought about
I
myself.
know, but I'm trying to get an ice burn in here real quick.
Yeah. Well, Trumpet, I do not know how well he spoke with you, but I did witness how well he danced.
You know what?
That's
I
laughing.
apologize, Kai. I just always had this image of your characters like sitting at a table, getting really drunk, and being like, "And that's when I killed my third Saxon of the day."
That's literally Robert. He's actually done that before.
So, the Lady Adwin seems slightly surprised. Can you make some sort of courtly roll?
Courtesy?
Yeah, courtesy. Courtesy sounds good.
Yeah.
You're not actually running game at this point, so not flirting. Wow. Okay. Yeah, she says, "Well, I prefer the hunting and falconry. There has not been a good hunt in Salisbury for almost a decade. Roderick seems to prefer his games of chance and the war with the Saxons now."
Robert's just like super excited when he hears this, obviously. Because, I mean, his family has been known for falconry and he's quite an avid hunter. So Robert's like, falconry and hunting, my lady? That is a surprise. Most women prefer dance and gossip.
She rolls her eyes and is like, "I fear that you do not know most women then, sir."
Robert rolls his eyes. So, I know a few. And he's just
So
like,
she says, "I hunt with a merlin. What bird do you hunt with?"
So, one second, I've made a note actually. Goshawk. Her name is Ella.
Ah, Goshawk, of course.
Her name is
I had
Ella.
hoped that you had perhaps worked your way up to Falcon. Perhaps Pendragon.
In time, though, I have quite a fondness for this bird. We have
I see.
hunted on many occasions together.
So
I'm a
she says,
sentimental
"It
fool
would
that
be a
way.
strange man indeed who had no fondness for his bird."
and I quite enjoy hunting as well. Perhaps when we have some time, we may go hawking together, my lady.
Shall I schedule it in then? Perhaps before the winter sets this year, we shall go hawking together. On your family's lands?
Certainly. Nothing would make me happier.
So she just kind of like sighs and is like, very well. Turns to one of her handmaids, like, girl, pencil it in. Find his squire, and we shall set aside some days.
And Robert just like looks at her. He's very intrigued that she's into hunting and falconry because in his head she thinks he's perfect now. He's
Not
like,
intrigued with you, though.
I don't care. Right now. Don't worry, Robert will win over. Like he always does. Watch the last few sessions, you'll see Robert's smooth moves.
Yes, and then she'll die like all others.
Yep. She'll
Yeah.
wind up in an early grave.
Hmm.
Again,
you can
and again, and again.
I think at some point you're just going to be known as the Widower Knight.
Yeah.
I'm
Robert's
pretty
gonna
sure
leave it at
some
like-
people are already making rumors about, like, if it's him.
That
So-
sounds like something Trumpert could do with intrigue if he wanted to.
No, not really.
Read such rumors.
By the way, I have a quick question.
Oh, yes,
Um,
indeed.
How much does it cost to put on a small tournament?
Oh, a lot. I can get
Okay.
the exact numbers. All right.
I was trying to figure out whether, because I was thinking it might be fun for Aurelius to put on a small thing in order to try and encourage worthy men to come join the Chevalier de Croix Rouge.
All right. There's something here. Okay. So, tournaments at this time period are very simple. All it is, there's not even a joust. There's a melee, there's a boar hunt, and there's animal fighting. And the cost to
Do
put
we
one-
fight the animals, or are the animals?
Animals fight each other.
Okay.
Trying to figure out the cost of putting one together. How large of a tournament did you want it to be? Like,
What's the smallest one?
it would be the surrounding manors. Then
Just
you could
sort
do
of.
the county, and then so that would be Salisbury, or you could do the region of Logres, or you could do the entire country.
So it entirely depends on how much they cost.
Yeah.
So- You can probably afford Salisbury.
Yeah, the question is whether or not I can afford Salisbury.
I'd have to look that up during the break. I don't
That's
have
fine,
that immediately
but-
available.
I was thinking sort of as if it's within Aurelius's power to do it, he might start spreading word of how he is recruiting men to join him in this noble endeavor, and he will be hosting this thing. So he's sort of starting to, if it is within his power, he would start spreading word early,
Okay.
trying to get people interested.
I love the idea that you're using your knowledge of the future to make your character be like the blueprint for chivalrous knights. All right. Okay. Again, I'll have to look up the tournament thing later.
Yeah.
Is there anything anyone else would like to do right immediately?
Oh, we just have a word with Roderick. I think we should.
You'd like to speak with Earl Roderick? Very
Yeah.
well.
Just a quick word.
Earl Roderick is like completely wasted. He's way beyond the level of alcohol that a knight, especially a noble lord such as he, should be. And his wife is noticeably absent this evening. He's like, Sir Robert, come over here.
Oh, Roderick. Oh, damn it. Well, Lord, I think you have defeated me in the challenge of the cups this night.
As I have defeated many, challenge the cops this night. They shall speak of my glorious battle as if it was like your victory over King Nock the Standard Bearer. Oh, my boy. You did good work there.
I beat that guy up.
Thank you, my lord. That was
You
all of
there,
us.
Trumpet?
No.
Okay. I love that again. Like Robert keeps taking credit for your victories.
Obviously. He's proud. He's a pagan. That's what he does. After all, it
Well, I
was
don't know
under
what
his.
paganism has to do with
Yeah.
it.
It's
But
one
that's
of our
Robert anyway.
traits.
Yeah, it
Actually,
is
it's not
one of
even.
your traits.
It's just Robert, man. He's just gonna be like that.
Okay. But Roderick is like, there are more Saxons in the south. Soon Salisbury may be at risk. I'm leaving all of my foot soldiers home at the garrison of my castles. I'll comply with King Uther's muster with only my knights.
Ah, well, don't worry. We shall take care of this treacherous Duke Gaulois. We'll fucking skewer the bastard.
So, you will travel with me then to Castle Terabel. I had feared that you might wish to join the king at Tintagel.
Ah, no. We will go where the Duke is. And
Are you ready
skewer
for
him.
this shit? Are you
Prince
ready?
Matt.
You're
Yeah.
about to have to make a roll, Anash.
Okay.
He says, Ah, but I had heard you were smitten by the Lady Elaine. She is holed up in Tintagel. That is why Uther breaks his army into thirds to head there.
Robert's face
Perhaps I was
almost goes
wrong.
pale.
Perhaps I had heard incorrectly about your love for her. Half my knights now pine away for her.
Ah,
Can
Robert
you
says,
make a
my lord.
pride roll and then add your lust for the grain to that? Or I believe it's a more grain to your roll.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to
Or
roll
you add it to
make a
your
pride
skill,
roll?
sorry.
Okay. Alright. Proud. There we go. On the side.
Good.
I think it's 2, right? That's my... Yeah, more is 2.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be a 15. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So you immediately jump up and are like, I would be proud to pledge myself to King Uther's service in this matter. And Duke, Earl Roderick, like pulls you down to the table, and he's like, no, young fool. I know you have lost many wives so far, but pursuing this one would be the death of you instead.
Rob was just like, very well, very well. I've already spoken with the prince. I have given him my word. I will be riding to Terabel, not to Gel, though my heart may go another direction.
Says, I understand what you mean. My wife has left me to head back to Castle Vagon.
Ah,
It seems she wishes to take a more direct hand with my daughter. It is
how
difficult
is Lady
times
Jenna?
without her.
How is Lady Jenna? She's growing up to be quite a beautiful young lady.
As you've noticed, it would seem all of Logris has noticed.
Uh,
I am besieged by a pile of paper every morning as men seek weddings for their sons. A strange day in Salisbury indeed. None of them pursue Jenna anywhere near the level of fervent devotion that I show to Ellen, of course, so.
yeah. Robert just like, speaking of it, my lord, I must tell you the most hilarious story. I had a conversation with Sir Blaze this evening, and he just
said,
starts laughing.
Sir Blades, my hated enemy! And he takes
Ah.
another drink. He's like, fuck Sir Blades in his ass. The Black Knight, more like the Brown Knight.
What? Was that just a racist comment?
No,
No.
talking about poop.
Yeah. He sought to humiliate the knights of old Roderick, but the poor man was left red-faced when he realized that old Roderick, the defeat by old Roderick, lives on till today.
He says, yes, I do love my wife, and I do hate Sir Blades. These are both things that are true.
So yeah. So I think we just like generally just talk shit,
Yeah.
like being trashed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Noble women come over to bring you more drinks with heavy sighs and watered down ales.
Robert probably spanks one of them at the bottom or something like that, you know.
Oh, Robert.
And probably get slapped a few more times, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Once they heard you were into that, they all just started slapping you in the face. Once they knew they could get away with it.
Yeah.